Welcome everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're very excited to kick off 2015 with a great update for our channel community. So thank you for joining and thank you for taking time out of your day. Just a quick few pieces of housekeeping. We will have polling questions throughout the webinar, so when we do that, we very much appreciate your participation and we will share the results with everyone in attendance. Also, if you have questions for Glenn or for the presentation in general, please enter those in your Q&A panel on the GoToWebinar interface. We will take the majority of questions at the end, so just keep those coming and we will answer some of those in real time, but we'll also capture them and ask them so the whole entire audience can hear the questions and answers at the end. And then finally, this webinar is being recorded, so if you want to hear a recording or pass a link to a partner or colleague, one comment is they will have to be an authorized Huawei partner, because these VAR webinars are actually in the partner portal section of our website on the Huawei Enterprise USA website, so they won't be on the normal resources page. They'll be within the partner portal, and that's because it contains information about pricing and other things that are really only relevant for our partner community. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to our primary presenter today. This is Glenn Ziegler, who is our Senior Director of U.S. Channel Sales and really our true channel chief. We're very excited to have Glenn presenting today. So without further ado, Glenn, take it away.
Hey, Nick, thank you very much. First and foremost, thank you everybody for taking time out of your day to come learn about Huawei and our 2015 channel update. 2015 is a critical year for Huawei, and we're very excited. I think we have a lot of compelling changes that are coming to the partner community, both here in January as well as throughout the year. As we go through this deck, we're going to solicit your feedback on some additional enhancements we'll make to the partner program. But before we begin, I really want to take a moment to review who Huawei is and our success. So Huawei continues to grow. As of 2014, our revenue exceeded $46 billion. So when you look at this, Huawei has grown every year since our inception. The chart here shows our growth from 2009 all the way through 2014. And you see we continue to grow year over year over year. 2013 to 14, we had about a 15% revenue growth. Important part of this is that 60% of those revenues came from outside of China. So Huawei truly is an international company. We're deployed in over 140 countries. 1/3 of the world's population works across the Huawei network. We do business with 45 of the top 50 telcos worldwide. Equally important about Huawei is the amount of money we put into research and development. In 2014, our research and development investment exceeded $6 billion. That's a tremendous investment back into new product development. And that's reflected in the number of employees in our research and development, which is roughly 50% of our workforce. We have 70,000 employees at work doing nothing but research and development. Many of them are actually located here in the United States. You look at patents, we're #1 for patent applications in China. We're #3 in Europe for patent applications. We're in the top 10 in the United States for patent applications. So worldwide, we're a leader in the number of patent applications. That comes from our research and development. And that's critical because many of the products we're looking at are designed for today's market, but also on an eye with where the market's going to be in 2, 3, 4 years. So the products you're selling today will work for the markets tomorrow and beyond. So when I look at the first thing we want to talk about, our channel webinar is distribution. Our distribution strategy is pretty simple and straightforward. We have ASI and Synix as our broadline distributors. We deal with versatile communication or versatile distribution services, Wave wireless outfitters, and Stampede around specialty distribution and product interest areas. Wave focuses primarily on wireless data networking. Versatile, the focus on our server business as well as SAP, some data networking, and then Stampede for video conferencing. Synix and ASI support the entire portfolio from enterprise LTE through regular wireless, wireline, traditional data networking products, video conferencing, the entire portfolio. So Nick, I think we're time for our first polling question before we get into some of the content of the promotions we're offering.
Outstanding. So First poll we want to ask is just to get a feel from you where you find the business and your focus of your business throughout 2015. So the first poll is really asking you, where do you think the most business opportunity resides for your company? Is it in the networking and switching and routing space? Is it more servers and storage? Is it the wireless, professional wireless LTE space? Is it video conferencing, or is it something else? So we'll give you just a few seconds to vote here, and we'll share the results with you shortly. We've already had a few questions come in, so we do want to reiterate that if you have questions about anything that Glenn says throughout this presentation, please submit them via the Q&A panel on the GoToWebinar interface, and we will try to answer as many of those as we can in real time, and we'll also aggregate the questions towards the end so the entire audience can benefit from hearing what some of these questions are. So go ahead and place your vote. We'll give you about another 5 seconds, and then we'll share the results. All right, let's go ahead and share it. And as you can see, it's fairly evenly distributed. And interestingly, probably to Glenn, the wireless space is over a third of respondents. 38% think their biggest opportunity is in the wireless LTE space. Servers and storage coming in strong with 31%. Traditional networking, 17%, and video conferencing a little bit lower. So that's definitely good information for Glenn as he proceeds. And Glenn, go ahead and continue on.
Okay, thank you very much, Nick. So now I'm going to take a run through our channel partner program. This is important for a number of reasons. We're going to lay out where we're going as a business, but also this is your program, so we're going to solicit your feedback, but through questions as well as a follow-up email looking to make sure that this program works for you, our VARs. You look at Huawei's focus on verticals this year, we're really going to go ahead and put some discipline around the areas where we do incredibly well. So you'll notice that 4 of the 5 verticals mentioned here are really specific verticals to where Huawei has had tremendous success in 2014 to 2013, and we're looking to continue it. Education, so K through 12, colleges, that space we do incredibly well. We're going to put a focus around that, working on the contracts, working on the pricing, working on the strategies that work very well in that market. Our second vertical focus will be around retail. Third vertical, which is very critical to us, is SAP. As many of you may be aware, we have a solution that works with SAP HANA, SAP Business One. A lot of excitement and interest around that part of the portfolio, so we built a vertical around that. The fourth one is application acceleration. You look at our PCIe SSD cards, best in the industry, best from price, best from performance. And then, of course, we have commercial, which is virtually anything that doesn't fall into one of these verticals is commercial. So we're definitely not turning away any business. What we are taking the 4 segments where we've had a lot of success, and we're really increasing the investment and the discipline and the materials around that to be more successful. I want to take a minute to revisit our channel partner commitment. To make a commitment to our channel partners that you're going to make money when you sell Huawei. We're going to guarantee that you'll be able to sell our products at a margin that will be compelling to you. We guarantee that Huawei will not compete with you. You're in an opportunity, we will not go direct. When you're in an opportunity, we will not introduce any conflict for you. We will not come in and try to undermine you. We will work with you as opposed to compete with you. We have what we like to call a high-touch sales model with channel fulfillment. High-touch meaning that any time there's an opportunity that you bring to us, we want to engage our sales and engineering teams to support you in the opportunity, and then channel fulfilled because we want the business always to run through you, our channel partners. Huawei will support you in pre- and post-sales. I think this is critical because from the pre-sales standpoint, obviously we want to support you, but once the deal closes, once the business opportunity is shipped, we absolutely want to support you on the post-sales level, and we have some very compelling offerings, whether it's our high care services support. We offer same-day, 4-hour turnaround to 40,000 zip codes in the United States. 100% of the United States is serviced with next business day. So we have a post-sales offering that will allow you to win with Huawei. We want to provide you easy and profitable service offerings. Later in this presentation, we're going to talk about implementation, which is something you can now sell, travel included. And then finally, we're looking to help you grow your business and be successful with the market-based marketing activities that you as a VAR may want to work with Huawei on. We certainly have the ability to entertain MDF proposals and work with you to help you grow your business and be successful. So this is a view of our channel program as it sits today. The real key here is the fact that once you become authorized, we have a pathway for you to grow with Huawei. As you grow, some of the discount levels for deal registration go up, some of the benefits increase, some of the training opportunities increase, some of the opportunities to become a Huawei certified solution provider and take on the installation, the deployment of all the Huawei solutions not using us, increase for you as the VAR. So when I look at the channel program, you'll notice our program is constantly evolving. And really, I'm excited to have a 2016 slide based on your feedback of the changes we're going to make in 2016, 2015, 2017. This program will continue to evolve year over year. When I look at 2015, some of the things that are key to us, we're going to have a partner summit. So very shortly, you're going to learn about our partner summit. Probably be sometime in the spring, late spring, June, July timeframe. And we're going to bring our partners together and have a partner summit where you're going to learn about Huawei. You're going to have a time to engage with one another. It should be a fairly exciting, compelling event. Some of the other things that we'll be talking about later today are Huawei one-touch pricing, taking our most popular SKUs, putting them into distribution, making sure the inventory is readily available, making sure we have a price point to win with competition without going through excessive steps. We also look at launching a leasing program with our partner Wintrust, where we'll entertain anything from buying out an existing network, 0% financing, those types of things. So this is your channel program. As we move forward, want your feedback because we'll evolve it to meet your needs. Talk about training for Huawei partners. We have pre-sales training. We have post-sales technical training. We have some online training. And we actually even have customer training. So you can go ahead and sell Huawei training to an end user that buys our network, buys our servers, buys our ELTE product, and we'll deliver it on site or at a Huawei site to your customers. We have a full training offering, just like you would expect from a company that has $46 billion in revenue. Nick, I think that brings us to the second polling question.
Outstanding. So one of the things Glenn likes to do in these webinars is really get direct input from the audience about what things are most motivating to them. So this polling question is specifically asking you what program incentives generate the greatest results for selling Huawei solutions. And obviously you'd like to have all of these, but what's the #1 program incentive for you? Is it a direct spiff to the VAR rep? Is it an overall rebate for the company itself, the VAR company? Is it some kind of rebate or spiff for the end customer? Or would you prefer just no rebates and spiffs, just give us the lowest possible price and we'll go out and make margin off of it? So those are kind of the choices there, or other, of course. So we'd love to get your feeling, and I think these kinds of things help us shape the program going forward and what kinds of incentives that we're offering to our channel partners. So we'll give you another 5 or so seconds to vote, so please cast your vote, and then we'll share the results here momentarily. Okay, let's go ahead and share it. And what you can see is that almost 40% would rather just have the lowest possible price with no spiffs, no rebates. But there's a good contingent across the rest of it that think VAR spiffs are the best, VAR rebates, and even customer rebates in there as well. So a little bit spread, but interesting, Glenn, that the majority would rather just have the lowest possible price. So with that, we're going to continue on, Glenn.
All right, thank you very much. So one of the things I want to touch on is the sales training that we have. We've built it in a modular basis. We have online training classes. At the onset of this webinar, I mentioned that our revenue is now $46 billion. Our research and development is over $6 billion. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to update the Discover Huawei training. We'll build an incentive in there to ask you to go take that training course on the 2015 version. Make sure you understand who Huawei is. Because the more effectively that you can represent who Huawei is, the more effectively you can sell our products. We're going to continue to develop modules around this. Right now we have them for servers, campus switching, teleconferencing, video conferencing. We're going to continue with other ones. We're also going to offer increased certification training for engineers this year. And then finally, what's not on here, but if you would like to have Huawei come in and do a technical presentation on a day, one of our pre-sales engineers come in and do a lunch and learn, a customer seminar, anything like that, reach out to us and we'll certainly schedule it and we'll come to a site near you to deliver training modules. So it will not be a certification training. It will definitely be a Huawei knowledge training on our products in any given area, whether it's servers, storage, networking, what have you. So obviously, I mentioned at the beginning that we're building verticals. We're going to have content for all those verticals. It will be on our website. It will be available to you in printed format, and we'll get it out to you. We're going to continue to evolve our battle cards. So as you look at our most popular products, we're going to continue to develop those forward. You'll notice on here we represent all of our major product areas with the exception of ELTE and wireless. We have battle cards coming to you for wireless LAN. These will continue to evolve over the course of time. As you see products and you want a card, it says, hey, here's the Huawei offering. Here's the competitive offerings in the market that we need to compete against. What are the magic bullet points? Let us know and we'll develop those cards. I believe right now we have 8 or 9 of those cards created. By the end of this year, we're hopeful to have about 15 based on your needs. One of the key benefits to our partner program is deal registration. It's critical. It's an online service that you can go in. It gives you security of the lead. Once you register it, you're locked in as the lead partner. Not only ensures you a greater discount, but it also assures you the support from Huawei so that we can go ahead and dispatch our pre-sales resources from sales all the way to engineering to technical support so that we can help you win the opportunity. So deal registration is a key aspect of our program. Deal registration is a key aspect of how we give you support. Obviously, $46 billion, you would expect a lot of sales tools, and we have that. Everything from online configuration tools, excuse me, I moved the slide there too early. Everything from online configuration tools, network simulators, wireless LAN planners, the battle cards, product mirror tools, what is the competitive product that you're looking to quote against, what is the Huawei product you'd want to look at. Product mirror tool is outstanding. So we have all the tools necessary for you to be successful that you would anticipate. So that brings us into product polling question number 3. And then we'll get into our specific product promotions. Nick?
Excellent. Thank you so much, Glenn. And the final polling question for today is really trying to figure out, of all the different aspects of a partner program, what's the thing that's most important to you? Is it the pricing and the discount structure? Is it the training that we're able to offer? Is it the deal registration that Glenn just talked about? Is it the marketing assets, doing co-branded events and webinars and things like that with us? Or is it something different? So go ahead and place your bet, place your vote, and we will show you the results here in a minute. Once again, a reminder, we are getting lots of different questions coming from the audience, which is fantastic. We appreciate that. Keep those coming, and we'll be taking all these at the end as Glenn wraps up. So we'll give you another few seconds to vote, and we'd love to hear what you think is the single most important aspect of the partner program.
And actually, while you can continue the voting there, one of the things we will do is we'll consolidate all the questions and we'll send out a written summary of the questions and the answers to everybody that attends the webinar. So if we have more questions than we can get to, don't worry, we'll certainly get you an answer. But we'll also summarize them and put out all the questions and answers in a written format to everybody that attended the webinar today.
Excellent. Okay, let's share the results. And what you can see is overwhelmingly 2/3 believe that the pricing and the discount structure is the single most important thing, with a smattering of responses around training, deal reg, marketing assets, etc. But overwhelmingly, it's all about the price. So good information. Glenn, go ahead and take it from there.
All right, so let's look at our Q1 activity and promotions. One of the key things we launched last year that we're continuing across is our education bundle. And what this is really designed around is if you look at a competing offer for $1 million, they can sell a core network. With Huawei, you can sell a lot more than a core network and we'll offer a lot more. So as opposed to a core network, for $1 million opportunity, we'll offer the core and aggregation switches, the access switches, servers, access points, wireless controllers, 5-year support, plus we'll provide the end user with 1,000 Chromebooks. So this is a pretty compelling offer. If you bring us a competitive offer in an education space for $1 million, we'll build our solution and build in 1,000 Chromebooks on top of that. If the offer is smaller, $500,000, well, then we'll look at 500 Chromebooks. So it doesn't have to be the magic number of $1 million for us to do this. The key is, let's look at the competitive offering, and then let's show how much more value Huawei can bring to the table in terms of not only product, but also the things that are necessary. Talked earlier about the fact that education is a key vertical for us. We fully comprehend that education is under a lot of pressure with the one-to-one initiative, with No Child Left Behind, a lot of pressure to update from traditional textbooks into soft books on a Chromebook, on a laptop, on a pad. We want to support that by not only providing the school district the infrastructure, but also providing them then at no additional cost the learning device necessary. So while we say Chromebooking here, we could certainly look at tablets or any other structure. The key is that you'll get a lot more value for the same initial investment with Huawei. Additionally, one of the SPIFs that we launched in Q1, or excuse me, in Q4, we're going to continue across the Q1, which is our 4-for-4 promotion. So for every PO you submit to Huawei greater than $5,000, we will pay you a SPIF of 4% on the total order. So very simple. If it's a $10,000 order, you're going to get 4% of that. If it's a $100,000 order, you get 4% of that. That would be obviously $4,000. I think everybody can do the math and figure it out. And then also on our PCIe SSD cards, it doesn't have to be a $5,000 order. If you sell the card, you'll get an instant SPIF. So our 1.2 terabit card comes with a $200 SPIF. Our 2.4 terabit card comes for a $400 SPIF. So this is a popular promotion we're continuing across, and it's something that we had a lot of excitement around in Q4. We're keeping it going for Q1. One of the other things that we're continuing in Q1, but we're actually going to look to expand much greater, is our top-of-rack promotion. So for those of you that are not familiar with it, we took our most popular switches, our Cloud Engine 6850, and we just went and set a price on it of $4,400 to the VAR. So for $4,400, you can set a 48-port 10-gig optical switch. Incredibly popular. It was the right product, right price. We're going to continue with that promotion. But as we're with that, we're going to expand on it, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in a future slide. Other promotions we're running is on our servers. Took our most popular server lines, and we created a VAR price for you. Our PCIe SSD, our 1.2 and 2.4 terabit cards. So we have the 1.2 terabit card is $4,197.60 as a VAR price. Plus you get the SPIF. Our 2.4 terabit cards, just a shade over $7,600. You get the 4-for-4 rebate plus the SPIF. Obviously on the servers, all of these are priced to win. They're all eligible for the 4-for-4 SPIF. The other things that we're launching this year, and I think this is pretty exciting, is one-step installation. Regardless of where you sell a product, you can now sell installation with it. So this installation includes configuration, includes travel. So all you have to do is identify the product you want to sell. Any of our products, we can give you a SKU that has installation. It's easy to order and quote. It's call-up distribution. You get one quote that will include installation, configuration, and deployment, and it's available on every one of our SKUs. So this is just launching right now as we speak. If you call distribution today, they would actually not have the SKU. We'll be getting the SKU over to distribution within the next week, at which point they'll be able to offer it. So this is actually brand new. We're surprising our distribution partners on the call with it. I apologize to them, but this really just came together in the last couple of days. And then coming soon, we talked about the Cloud Engine 6850 promotion. We're going to actually take that and go much wider with our most popular SKUs. We're going to give you a one-touch price where we'll take the product and put the right price there. We'll make sure the product's in distribution so it's available to ship. And it'll be the same concept where we'll take our most popular switches 5700 PoE switch, 1700 switch. And we're going to go ahead and put it in at the right product, the right price, with the right availability, so you can just go ahead and sell it, ship it, and win. Very much like in one of the polling questions that came back, you're looking for the right product, right price. Fortunately, we anticipated your needs, so we're not quite ready to launch these yet. But within the next 30 days, we will have these fully priced out. We'll work with distribution to make sure they're in stock and they'll be available for you to sell. The other things we have, I mentioned earlier, we partnered with Wintrust Capital as our leasing provider. Wintrust gives us a lot of opportunities to work with customer needs. So there's a lot of benefits to leasing. If you're not familiar, we're going to be running some specific leasing webinars. But it really happens to do with conversion of capital. It happens to do with the fact that if a partner wants to replace their network and they have a book value cost, we can buy it out so that we can give them book value for their network and then go ahead and lease them a new solution with a lower overall expenditure. We're looking at the opportunity on almost any deal of size to do 0% financing. So there's a lot of flexibility there. Wintrust is the key opportunity, but any time you're looking at a Huawei solution, leasing is going to be an option. We're going to really focus on that in 2015 and look for more solutions to come to you. More importantly, if you have any questions, get them to us and we'll get them answered. And then last but not least, Huawei is going to be very aggressive in the marketplace. So right now I'm showing a slide on our education shows. But if you look, you can see starting January 20th, starting next week in Orlando, Florida with the FETC show, all the way through February, March, we're going to be showing up at different shows in different cities and states. Any show where we are pulling together, and this one happens to be around education, but any show where we can go ahead and advance the Huawei brand. If there's localized shows that you've supported that you think Huawei could benefit from participating in with you, let us know. One of the keys for us this year is really to become active in the regional shows, active in the shows where we can make a difference. So you're going to see a lot more Huawei activity out there marketing who we are, what we sell. So early on we mentioned the vertical focus. The verticals will be a key where we do the shows. We just came back from the retail show in New York City. Obviously this slide is on education. We're going to be working with SAP, but we'll also look at other events and shows that make sense for us. We intend to fully be out in the market helping you advance the brand. So with that, that ends the overview of what we want to talk about. Now I think it's time to get into the Q&A. So Nick, do you want to go ahead and take on the Q&A piece now?
Outstanding. Yes, we do have lots of questions, so let's go ahead and dive into that. And one comment I wanted to make on what Glenn was saying about the battle cards. All the battle cards are available in electronic version off the partner portal, but we also have a capability to laminate them and put a little ring binder so that you can have them all in one nice little ring, and we've done that for a number of our partners. So if you're interested in getting printed, laminated versions of the battle cards for your salespeople, contact your channel account manager and we'll be able to create those kits for you, and a lot of the sales guys like to have those handy. So first question, Glenn, is, and you've talked a little bit about this, but what kind of joint marketing activities does Huawei offer with its partners?
So that's a great question. If you bring us a proposal for a marketing activity, we will certainly evaluate what is the ROI, what is the expectation that we have to do it, and we'll evaluate everyone on a case-by-case basis and look to participate you where it makes sense. So if we can generate Huawei awareness, if we can generate a pipeline for VAR, we'll definitely entertain the marketing initiative. So it's a case-by-case basis. It's initiative-based. Just bring it forward to your Huawei rep. Bring it forward to Huawei via the website, and we will certainly support it and make sure that we evaluate it and give you an answer on what we can support.
And I can give you a couple examples right off the bat. Glenn mentioned that we were at the NRF show in New York City just last week, and or this week rather, I should say, and we went on that thing with Megapath. So we attended that show with Megapath, and we did an event with them, a VIP reception that attracted a great deal of attention. Also coming up for the TCEA show that's coming up in Texas in a couple of weeks. In early February, we have a number of different things we're doing with various partners at that show, from dinners to other things. So whether it's just a one-time event that you're doing, kind of a lunch and learn type event, or whether it's something that's in conjunction with another trade show that either you're participating or we're participating, as Glenn said, if it aligns with our initiatives, we're more than happy to support that. And by support, a lot of times that means we'll help you with logistics around collateral. We sometimes can ship equipment. We can have people attend with you. So there's a great willingness to partner with you on those kinds of things. You talked a little bit about training, Glenn, but the question here is, can you talk a little bit more about Huawei's technical certification courses and how that differs from the sales training?
Yeah, absolutely. So technical certification courses are just that. They're certifications. You know, they take a week or longer, and it really gives you the full technical overview of how to configure and support the Huawei products. We did not do a particularly effective job in 2014 in running the certification classes, but we're going to work with all of our distributors to host classes and really launch both face-to-face on-site training as well as the ability to take it remote and access a lab. All of those are followed up with a Prometric exam where you actually get a Huawei certification. One of the things that we're going to look at this year is not only offering the courses, but offering an incentive to the individual learner to go ahead and get the Huawei certification. So those courses will be coming. Right now, they're primarily focused around servers, storage, and networking. We're working right now to build one out around our enterprise LTE or private LTE solution. But any certification requests, interest, requirements you have, by all means, get them to us, and we'll make sure that we get the class run and get you the training that you desire.
Excellent. A lot of questions about training. One more about it says that I heard that you were updating your training for 2015. Is training required for Huawei partners?
So training at this point is not required, but it's highly recommended. And when I say it's not required, we want everybody to take the sales training. We want everybody to take the certification, the technical training. However, to become an authorized partner, that is not required. As we look at the partner program and evolve it through, we will be building training requirements into the gold partners that we will begin to enforce, but right now it's just highly recommended. As we run these certification trainings, as we get more disciplined, we will certainly begin to look to require it. But right now it's recommended, and it's highly, highly successful. The partners that do take the certification training consistently sell more products. Their revenues increase. So we're seeing a huge value in it. We're seeing the absolutely ROI for the partners. And by the way, our certification training is free. We do not charge the partners for it. So there's a lot of value in doing it, but right now we do not require it.
Excellent. Here's one that says, you talked about deal registration. Is deal registration required, and what is the discount associated with registered deals?
So that's a fantastic question. Deal registration is not required on an opportunity, but right now we run 50% off list price as our partner price. Deal registration runs up to 65%. So you can get up to a 15% incremental discount for deal registration. So it definitely is a very compelling incentive to do it. You can certainly operate without doing deal registration. The no-touch SKUs obviously will not be eligible for deal registration. The price is designed to be a no-touch price or a one-touch price. However, for anything project-based, for anything that doesn't fall into those specific SKUs, deal registration is an absolute differentiator for you. It's a competitive advantage, so we highly recommend it.
Excellent. There's a number of questions about the Huawei Partner Program, and another question that's kind of tied to that says, can you put the deal registration site or page on the URL? So just to take a second to talk about that. So all of the things that we're talking about in terms of seeing the spiffs and the deal registration page and the training, this is all included within the Huawei Partner Portal. So if you go to the main Huawei website, which is huaweienterpriseusa.com, you'll see a top-level navigation for partners. When you click on partners, if you're already logged in, you'll see a whole wealth of information, including register a deal right there. If you're not logged in, most of the information on the partner navigation will tell you how to become a partner. And just to describe that very quickly for people on this webinar that aren't currently partners, you basically submit a very simple one-page application which gets reviewed and kind of approved within 24 hours. And at that point, you and other people from your company can join in and gain access to the partner portal. And that portal access is required to be able to register deals. And that's only available to our authorized VARs. And as an example, this webinar itself will only be available through that partner portal. So there really is kind of a website within a site on the Huawei Enterprise USA website. And if you haven't gone into the partner portal, we highly recommend it. There's a tremendous amount of information, including all the collateral, the battle cards, and other information that is only available, including our entire price book that's only available to authorized partners. So hopefully that clears up those whole batch of questions about the partner portal. Another one, Glenn, for you is who installs the Huawei the products that are sold through the Huawei sales? Is it Huawei, is it the VAR, or is it other?
So if you sell our installation SKUs, then it is the same Huawei support network that does all of our post-sale support. So whether it's break fix or whether it's installation, if you sell the installation SKU, that is who would be doing the installation. If you do not sell installation, then the VAR would do the installation, although Huawei certainly has the ability to become your subcontractor and take on that initiative for you. So I guess the effective answer to that question is, based on the customer needs, based on the partner's desire, it can be any of the above. It can be Huawei, it could be the partner. Excellent. And that's why we offer the certification training, because many partners will want to be able to do their own installation. In order to effectively do that, they're going to need the certifications.
Great. This one says, I've heard the lead time for Huawei servers can be several weeks or longer. Is that true? And if so, what are you doing to decrease the lead time? And I know this ties to your one-touch SKU thing you were talking about.
Yeah, so that's a fantastic question. And the Huawei lead time, not just for servers, but for many of our products, was entirely too long in 2014. So we're working with distribution to make sure that we have our most popular SKUs in stock so that the lead time will be 2 days. We're working with our sales team. And this is one of the reasons we ask for deal registration, so that we have visibility to what's coming in the pipeline, so that we can go ahead and deal with supply chain and ensure that the lead time is not extended. Go ahead and prep the equipment so that it's here in the United States when the deal closes or the opportunity closes. So without visibility, the lead time can be several weeks. We're working to A, make sure that they're in stock and distribution, and then B, we're working with our deal registration and our supply chain forecasting to make sure that when we have visibility to an opportunity, we have it positioned in the United States so it will not be an extended lead time.
Excellent.
And that circles back.
Another question, how do I take advantage?
Go ahead, Nick.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that circles back to, once again, why deal registration is important. Because if we have visibility to it and we're working with you on the opportunity, we'll be able to ensure that we have the supply chain issue handled so that it will not be several weeks.
Excellent. Okay, good. This question says, how do I take advantage of the VAR spiffs that you talked about in this webinar?
So we'll make sure that you have a Huawei rep you're working with, and they will be able to work through that. One of the things we'll do is we'll send out, as part of the Q&A here, a link so everybody will be able to reach out to Huawei directly. Also include my email address so that if you don't know who to reach to on Huawei, you can reach to me, and I'll make sure we get somebody assigned. But send us the information on your PO, and we will absolutely make sure somebody walks it through so that you can take advantage of the spiff.
Excellent. Another question says, can I create my own variation of the education bundle?
Yes, absolutely. Work with us. We'll have to look to make sure that the opportunity is affordable, but we will work with you absolutely to create our own, any customized version of the education bundle, absolutely.
There's also a number of people asking for the actual presentation that we're showing here. So as mentioned, that will be available on the Huawei Partner Portal. So that's the way that you'll be able to gain access to this presentation. So thanks for those questions. Another one is, as we get started, can we resell and package Huawei solutions and services I'm trying to figure out exactly how this is worded, and use that to get on-the-job training as we move to become a CSP?
Yeah, so absolutely. Actually, that's a great question. If you sign up to become a CSP and you take the certification training with Huawei, we'll actually do the first deployment for you. You can sell the deployment to your customer, then you can come along and shadow us, and we'll do the first deployment for you at no charge. So that's an actual, I'm glad that question was asked, because it's actually an incredible benefit of our program for being certified. You sign up to become a certified solution provider with Huawei. You take the certification training. Not only will we do the installation for you, we'll allow you to shadow us, so you'll be certified to do it, but you'll still be trained on the job with Huawei while we do the first installation for you. So, fantastic question, and yes.
Excellent. Man, Glenn, you're getting a lot of great questions, man. This is some of the most questions that we've ever had, and we're down to the last couple. If I want to see live demos of these solutions or be able to show demos to my customers, how can I arrange that?
So once again, we'll send you a link to reach out to us or work through your distributor. We can certainly provide loaner or demo equipment, or we can look at providing a very aggressive demo program. If it's a customer event, we can certainly include our pre-sales team to come on site with the equipment and provide it. So really it depends on what we're looking to accomplish, how long we're looking to do it, but we'll find a way to get demo equipment to you, teach you how to provide the demo, and enable you to show it to your customer. Demos are one of the most effective ways, followed very closely by proof of concepts where we put equipment into a customer's network. The most effective ways to get people to understand that Huawei is an incredible product at an incredible price. So once again, when we follow up on everybody with the questions, we'll send links on how you can get in touch with us, and we'll certainly work with you to make sure we get you the demo equipment necessary to win.
Excellent. Next one had to do with the comments that you made about Wintrust, and it says, who do I talk to about buying out leases?
So that would be Tom Valone at Wintrust. Once again, hopefully I'll have the individual contact information, and I'll reach out to you directly. But secondarily, when we put the summary out of the webinar today with the Q&A, I'll have a link in order for you to be able to reach out to Tom Valone via email as well as phone number.
Excellent. And I think our final question is talking about Marketing Central, and I know you briefly mentioned that to us, but it said, will Marketing Central support jointly executed campaigns? And just as a refresher for those of you that don't know what Marketing Central is, it's another big benefit of the partner portal and the partner program. But basically, when you go into the portal, once you have access to it, there's a section called Marketing Central, and it allows you to create your own private branded collateral. So we have a number of data sheets and case studies up there, and you can put your logo into Marketing Central, and it will automatically load your logo into the right spot on data sheets and put your company's contact information, so you can create co-branded collateral without having to go through large hoops or large amounts of time. You can literally do it within minutes by loading that kind of stuff up. And that's also a place where you can start to execute some of your own marketing campaigns, and those might be email campaigns or it might be something more involved like an event. So if you have those kind of requests, again, as Glenn mentioned, talk to your channel account manager, and they'll be the conduit of that kind of request into the marketing organization, and you can vet through the process, which is very painless, but basically once we get the approval to work with you, then you'll connect into our team, and we'll go forward from there. So great question. Let's see, we are getting a couple more, Glenn, so I thought that was going to be the last one, but there's a few more trickling in here. So one question is, can we email the webinar presentation to you? We can't really email it, but you have to be an authorized Huawei VAR, and you have access to the portal, and at that point you can see the presentation. So you can definitely get access to it from the partner portal, but you have to have access to that portal, which we talked about earlier. And then one other one says, if we only have project drawings, can Huawei provide quotation and quantity takeoff? I know that's a little bit of a vague question, Glenn, but maybe you can kind of figure out
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a project that he's working on. He says it's a hotel construction project, and if they only have the drawings, can we work with them to kind of help them create quotes and be able to kind of take it from there and work with them on a project that's underway and under construction.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I would assume that, if the question is around wireless based on an architectural drawing, we can do a guesstimate, a rough estimate of what's going to be necessary for the access points. Obviously, there'll be the requirement for a site survey when the building's finished to go ahead and finalize what's going to be necessary. On a networking standpoint, all that stuff, depending on the level of detail in the drawings, if it's a Visio of somebody else's network, we can certainly configure the Huawei in. So we'll work with you at any level to absolutely ensure that we can provide the right response. Once again, just reach out to us and we'll have a sales rep assigned to work with you.
Excellent. And by the way, just to put a plug in for our wireless focused distributor, Glenn was mentioning Wave earlier, and they're very much involved with a number of our VARs on exactly that kind of process of helping people scope out what's involved and what kind of wireless infrastructure is required. So highly recommend you contact our distributor Wave on those types of projects, because that's exactly what they do. Glenn, I think that's about it. Any final parting words for our partner community? And by the way, this is the largest VAR webinar that we've ever held, so thank you again in the audience for your attendance. Any final thoughts for these guys, Glenn?
Just very quickly, while I thank everybody for their time today, it's outstanding. I want to make sure that this is just not your only engagement with Huawei. When we put out the summary to the questions, I'm going to have my contact information in there as well. This is your partner program, as I mentioned on the front end. It's your partner program. We cannot be successful without you, our VARs. Send me your ideas. Send me your suggestions. We certainly want to hear them. We want to look to incorporate them into the program as we move throughout 2015, but not just 2015, all the way through. I mean, this is a long-term program, and I can't reinforce enough that you as the VAR own it and get the shape where it goes. So feel free to contact me with any suggestion, request. We want to work with you. And I really value your time and participation today. And thank you very much, everybody. Good selling.
And thanks, everyone, for their questions. That was a very lively Q&A session. So we appreciate that, and we will see you very soon on another great Huawei webinar. Have a great day, everyone.